Hello everyone, hi, this is Caroline Murphy-Bennis, the author of The Rainbow Warrior children's book. And as part of the children's book, I have a newsletter, which is called A Question of Truth. And within this, I expand on the concepts that are within the core of the book, which are trying to develop our connection to ourselves, our connections to our environment, and the connections to people around us, and how can we empower ourselves to be to bring kind of enrichment and protection to society and to the world at large. So that really brings in ethical design thinking, which I have a background in education as a professional graphic designer. I've worked for 23 years in Scotland and Ireland with graphic design and design thinking, and also I've written design thinking modules for Griffith College, and I've wanted to expand on the idea of that and to look at companies that I see as being pioneering in the area of ethical design thinking when they're thinking about the nucleus of their idea, and they're bringing in sustainability and eco-friendly product design, and the use of graphic design in an ethical, sustainable way as well. So I've come across an amazing company called Palm-Free Irish Soaps, and they're based in Clare, and Tony has just decided to come along and very kindly take some time out of his busy day to chat to us about the journey to creating this company, the ethics behind the thinking and of the concept for the brand, how they use traditional craft methods to producing this beautiful product. There's sustainable ingredients within each product, and how they're marketing it within the challenging times that we're living through. So I'd like to say hello, Tony, and lovely to meet you. We only briefly had a little chat just before we came on here, so we're going to get to know each other as well as talk about your company during this conversation. Also, this month's feature is the focus really is on having a mindful, inspiring and mindful Christmas. So when people are buying their products and their gifts, you know, obviously we've moved online, and we've moved to, I suppose, a slower pace of shopping, we'll say, and I think it might be an opportunity to showcase and spotlight companies like yourselves that are creating artisan Irish products that would be beautiful gifts, and that might introduce this type of thinking to friends and family that haven't really thought and mightn't be conscious of a movement towards this direction, you know, and living more sustainably, because their busy lives, their family lives doesn't, you know, it's not easy to stop and to really become conscious of where we're spending our money and how we're living and, you know, using products in our day-to-day living. So this is a product that I've came across, this particular one, yeah, and it's just stunning, and I tell you, it's kind of enchanted me. That's why we're here, because it kept calling me. I went into our local Nourish shop here in Santry and picked it up, and I just thought the smell was absolutely stunning of these beautiful artisan Irish soaps. They're amazing. Yeah. So I thought to myself, this is a company that I'd love to speak to, and I'd love to find out more about and the story behind. So maybe you could just introduce me to, you know, how this whole nucleus of the idea came about.
Right, okay. Well, it depends how far you want to go back, Caroline, because we started, basically, it was like 24 years ago.
Wow.
When we first moved to Ireland. Kathy was looking for doing something natural. We were looking at the time, it was a baby soap for our children. Okay. And it was a well-known brand of baby soap. And we were horrified to find that there was actually beef fat in the baby soap. Yeah. Plus a lot of other chemicals that we didn't recognize or know anything about. So Kathy decided on this journey that she was going to make a soap that was going to be free from all these chemical additives and was not going to contain any beef fat or any animal products at all. So we started a journey, and Kathy didn't know much about anything at the time. There was no internet. So a lot of the work was done by research, by books, reading, an awful lot of reading. Mm-hmm. And eventually Kathy came up and made some oatmeal soap, which we played around with. It wasn't perfect at first, but we played around with, and it grew, and then we added some more to the range, and the business just grew. We found a name for it called Galunuk, which is the Irish name for soap. Okay. And we just grew into it. This company called Galunuk. Okay. And we were supplying tons of soap, basically domestic market, and we were exporting to the US as well. Quite a lot of soap in the US. Yeah. That was at the time. And then obviously there was a change of pace of life in 2008. There was a lot happening. Yes. The crash come. We had personal issues we've got a daughter with special needs, so we kind of wound everything up, and we concentrated on family life really for a number of years. And then I'd say 2014 again, Kathy decided at the time then basically just to start hobbying, to start making soap again, because it's really enjoyable. She loves making it. So started on a hobby basis, started again, but this time done a lot more research, was a lot more online stuff. You could do a lot more checking on, and so the products, the raw ingredients was a major factor. So like the palm oil, that then we doing a bit of research into the palm oil, and the palm oil production horrified us. We were horrified by what was going on. Yeah. So decided then we were going to exclude palm oil completely from any of our products. Mm. Anything derived from palm oil, we were not going to use at all. Even sustainable palm, we decided against that. We looked into it. It's questionable, the sustainable palm industry. So we said, look, we won't take a chance. We'll carry on, and we'll go palm free. And from there, we used the name Palm Free Irish Soap, and literally grew from doing stuff in our utility room to we have a workshop where we're living, and we also just now moved into a big new unit here as well. So we're between the two at the moment with the lockdown. So, and that's how it's grown really over the years. It's grown organically. Yes. Really. Yeah.
It's amazing. And what I love the idea, I had read it on your website as well, that you had the nucleus idea really came from that, I suppose, the love of your children, that kind of, and it's a little bit like the Rainbow Warrior book that, I suppose we all are, I suppose we have that anxiety about what's happening in the environment. And it's wondering, not so much even for ourselves, but, our future for our children. And I think it's a great incentive to really focus your attention on how can I meet this challenge, in my generation, and I suppose when I wrote the book, it was trying to use my skills to, to maybe explain this criteria that we need to be living by, where we need to be kind of either enriching or protecting the planet in whatever way we do, whatever work we do, to bring it into our life is, as part of our focus of our life. It can't be kind of sit back and pretend it's not happening. So I love the fact that your company has come from that nucleus where, it's been thought of like, how can I solve a design problem nearly as such, that it's that wasn't suited to children. And then also you're bringing in the sustainability and creating a business and a lifestyle around it, which is wonderful.
And the family is still very much involved in the business. Yeah. Which is a great thing as well, really. Yeah, for how long we don't know, but they're all involved in the business now, which is great. Yeah,
that's brilliant, and you're kind of handing that on, and it's also a traditional craft, isn't it?
Certainly. I mean, we don't use we don't use any fancy machinery. We literally do it by the old style. We mix it all by hand. It's a cold process method. So there's no great energy in heating products up. You just warm the oils till they melt.
Yeah.
Some of them are liquid anyway. And then really it's just stirring it all by hand, pouring it into molds. So it's labor intensive, very labor intensive, but it's back to grassroots how things used to be done, really. Yeah.
Exactly. And I see just a lovely kind of a cutter, like a press that you put into, or you slice them.
It's quite archaic looking, and it's hard work. It's quite physical.
Yeah.
Our daughter is actually now doing that now at the moment for us. So it's
Is she? Yeah.
It's a good workout. It really is a good workout.
But it's hands-on, but then you're kind of keeping yourself healthy doing that as well, because what's the opposite is that, like, sitting. There's a challenge when you're on a computer all the time. You have to try and look to see how can I keep moving, and it's not great to be sitting down all the time as well. So if you can be active while you're in your working day, is actually
yeah. I mean, it's very physical. The whole thing is very physical from start to finish.
And I'd say, but it's enjoyable. I'd imagine you enjoy the process.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And it's wonderful that you're passing that on to the younger generation as well. So it's a skill set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With as well, and whether they decide to carry that on or not, but it's still keeping it alive.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll embrace it and take it on. And they'll see the value at the end of the day. Of what's been achieved and what we're doing. I mean, we're doing a small part, but if everybody did a little bit,
exactly,
it would make a difference in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just talking about kind of changing the culture, and it's also making a traditional craft contemporary, because they're beautiful contemporary products, and you see the kind of design in I love the pattern, when you put these together, or even on your website and on your Instagram, you have when they're
visually attractive, really. Yeah.
Beautiful, it's like slices of cake, really. They're very edible,
Yeah.
And what is funny as well, that I was thinking to myself, the fact that we're in the pandemic and we have to wash our hands so much.
Exactly.
And there's a mindfulness aspect to your soaps, where you're kind of, instead of thinking, I have to wash my hands, and you can slow down and you really enjoy the process.
Enjoy an experience. Yeah.
And it's kind of what I'm interested in as well is that creating a closeness to the love of a product as well, and how does that affect your life and your family and your day-to-day simple living, that just even by washing your hands with a beautiful soap, with a beautiful aroma, and they have a fabulous moisturizing texture to them.
Yeah, that's because the glycerine's kept in the soap, you see, when it's manufactured. It's not extracted off. Yeah. So it's kept in there, and plus the fact that there's a lot of extra like shea butter is added to it as well, which moisturizing properly, which keeps your hands soft, as opposed to using the alcohol scrubs. During the pandemic, a lot of people were complaining of dry hands.
Yes.
And that. So there's another thing we did as well during the pandemic. Kathy took it upon ourselves. Now we made 40,000 soaps of a variety called a cleansing bar, which is a lavender and tea tree. That's
packages.
That's it. Yeah. And we made 40,000, and they were basically donated to frontline workers, as many as we could get out to people who were sending them out. So that was just to help with the dryness of the hands as well, you see, because there's shea butter in them ones.
That's a brilliant idea, and I was using this. I thought that was a fabulous, support to the community. It's an amazing idea that you kind of stood up and did that. And when you use the soap, it is like you say, how you advertise it. I've been using it all week, washing my hands, and like that, it has a beautiful kind of oily kind of
moisturizing qualities.
Quality. Yeah, it's fabulous. That was a beautiful idea, because and I think your range of products kind of hit, even though they're initially when I had seen these beautiful artisan handmade kind of luxurious product, and then when you sent me the other products that you have in your range, it hits a lot of other marks. You've got the laundry.
Oh, the laundry bar. Yeah. That's become very popular recently now as well. That is really it's really picking up pace now. Yeah.
And how did that come about? It was just another idea, kind of.
Basically, Kathy's oldest thing around this was if people were going to go traveling, this is obviously pre-pandemic, when people were going traveling, that to limit what they were taking with them, and also what they were buying if they were away on holiday. So rather than if you're staying somewhere, you want to wash your clothes, rather than go out and buy detergent to wash your clothes, you just have a little laundry bar. You could a whole half of one in your hand luggage, and you literally could hand wash your clothes in the sink. That was the idea behind that. Same with the shampoo bars as well. They were all designed around traveling. So people could just pop a shampoo bar in the bag. You wouldn't have to worry about going through security at airports. There's no plastic involved. You don't have to worry about plastic. So, that's the whole idea, to minimize the waste that like plastics, for plastic bottles and liquids.
Yeah, that's amazing. Actually, it's a brilliant idea, because like that, each time you have to go, especially I have teenagers as well, and the amount of products between myself and her, it's trying to, it's challenge, and that is it's amazing. And what I was using this week was for washing the face masks.
Oh, right, very good. Actually, very good. Yeah.
I was keeping it by the sink. And this morning I just kind of rinsing these out, but there's beautiful lather to it as well, and it makes it really easy and to do. And there's gorgeous scent after it as well. Gorgeous
scent of that, yeah. A bit of eucalyptus in there as well to give it that fresh scent as well. So that's nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So you've got the soap, and also you've got the laundry one for the face masks.
Yeah, but that's also that can be used as a dishwashing bar as well.
Yeah, I tried that. I tried it with your new. I see online that you sent me these scouring pads.
Yeah, the Sapphic scrub pads. Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually works on. And I tried and tested definitely, because I use it on a frying pan to get the grease off. It worked perfectly. It was brilliant.
And it won't scratch. It won't scratch off the pad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have another bar, which is a Deo bar. Same idea for traveling, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Now you've got the herbal one there. Have you seen the other ones as well? We do. No. There's another couple there. There's the idea. This was the first off, the herbal one. But what we found as well, now a lot of the guys didn't want to carry around a little heart in their gym bags or anything like that. Or so what we did was the sport bar.
Oh, brilliant! Oh yeah, excellent. I saw that online. Brilliant.
Yeah, so it's more manly scent. Yeah, and it's also more woody. There's some more woody fragrance of it as well. It does the job equally as well. Yeah. And then there's the unscented one as well.
Oh, beautiful! That's for babies, is it?
It's basically it's for nursing mothers, or maybe post or pre-operative, conditions, or maybe chemotherapy. So there's no essential oils in there to interact with the body at all. So it's an unscented deodorant bar.
Okay.
So that was launched fairly recently as well. That's working well.
Okay, so you've got lots of different.
Lots of.
I'm just looking to see. I'd love to hear about your introduction of these coconut fibers.
Yeah, this is the only, we sell that product. It's the only product we don't actually make ourselves. We bring it in from India. It's made by a cooperative of women in India. Now, we've done a bit of research into it to make sure it was all above board now. And what it is, it's some ladies in India who have been coming from like a troubled background, abusive background. So they go into like a refuge area, and they're looked after, and they actually work together, and they make these coconut husk pads. Wow. And we stumbled upon them, and by chance they're exactly the same size as the bar of soap. And the soap, it doubles up. You can as a soap rest. So when you're using the soap, rather than leaving it down on the surface where it'll get wet and moist, you can leave it down on top of that, and it'll drain away nicely.
It's excellent, because that's what I've been using for. Because I took this and had it at the I like to use the products before we have a conversation, and because I know how it looks and feels, and how so it's having the experience of it. So I have been using that, and it's been working really well. And these have actually, the scouring pad I've kept with alongside the bar, And
Right, yeah.
I was really impressed by this product because I thought it's very strong. The fibers hold together really, really well. And like you say, they dry out really quickly, and they stop the smell, and you know, that kind of odorous sponge that you know.
Yeah, you won't get that at all off it. No.
I find those awful because you have to throw them out, and you know it's they don't last very long, and you're always wondering, are they full of germs or whatever. But the idea of you know, importing sustainable products like that, and to marry the Irish with the Indian eco products, I just think is a beautiful idea, and especially now hearing the background of the workers in India.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a really feel good product to purchase. You know, as well, that you feel that you're really supporting not only
Yeah, I mean, we don't highlight that enough. Yeah.
but social sustainability as well. You know, that's an aspect as well that I think is important to think about as well. That it's not just sustainability as a concept, not being just when it comes to the environment, but to people as well. You know, and how we live. And how did the shipping of these products work out for you? You know, and implementation.
What we're trying to do now, we're trying to consolidate. We're trying to cut down, obviously, in the carbon footprint. We're ordering a lot more product. At first, we took it on to try it to see how it went. It was a trial period. It turns out now that we are the sole Irish distributors of this product. We didn't realise that, but because we tend now to buy a lot of product at once, so it cuts down on the carbon footprint of moving stuff around. So we do tend to consolidate a shipment of quite a lot of product to bring it in. But it's brought in by sea, and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to bring it in. Excuse me. Yeah.
Excellent. That's amazing. So you're the only people in Ireland that are doing this?
Well, we are distributors for it. We do sell it out now to other wholesalers as well. We do sell it out there. So we are the main importers. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That's amazing. And are you interested in doing any more, importing any more products like that, do you think, in the future?
Not really. To be honest, no. What we were concentrating on was our own products.
Yeah.
And we didn't really want to sell other products unless it was absolutely necessary. And this is the only one that we really found that would it fits our bill, fits everything that our ethics. Yeah. So we decided to go with it. Yeah.
Excellent. It's wonderful. I think are you constantly thinking of new ideas? Do you have a research kind of development aspect of the business?
Kathy would be the research and development side of things now, and believe it or not, there's a couple of new products, and they're going to be launched next week.
Oh, excellent!
There's a brand new shampoo bar.
Oh, brilliant!
And a brand new conditioning bar to go along with the shampoo bar, because we've been constantly asked since we brought out the time travel shampoo bar. We've been constantly asked, is there a conditioner bar to go with it?
Oh, brilliant!
Now the problem was with a conditioning bar is the ingredients, trying to get the ingredients that were palm oil free.
Okay.
They weren't available. So what we've done, we've worked with, we started working with LIT, Limerick Institute of Technology, to investigate alternative ingredients that could be used for a conditioning bar that were palm oil free.
Oh, excellent.
We've stumbled, much research by Catherine and that, stumbled across some suppliers now of green ingredients that are palm oil free, which enables us now to produce a conditioning bar which is 100% palm oil free. There's no palm oil derivatives anywhere along the line. So a lot of research has gone into that. It's probably taken, I'd say, it got to 2 years.
Wow.
But that's going to be launched now next week. So fingers crossed, that should be good. Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye out for that one on your website. And
it should be hopefully on the website now next week as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll include it maybe in the December issue. I can do a link from the next newsletter.
Well, what we'll do as soon as we have them available, we'll make sure you get a couple of samples. Yeah. Okay. See what you think.
We'll look forward to that. And actually, just before we round up, because we're coming close to our 40 minutes. And I know,
time flies, doesn't it?
and I know, yeah, exactly. And I'm just, maybe this could be just the start of the conversation, you know. we'll keep in contact, you know. But I know you're a busy guy and you have to get on, but just in terms of the design aspect, the graphic design aspect of your branding, and the challenge of now mainly being online, and I know you obviously have stores and shops that you sell from and markets and stuff, but because of during COVID, you know, I'm just wondering how you're finding the challenging times that we're living through as a business, and you know, having to push your online presence more so, and also just if you could touch on your thinking behind the simplicity of your branding and your, I know you talked.
Very simple, isn't it? Very, very simple. When we were starting off, to be honest, financial, we didn't have a lot of money to play around with. We were looking at maybe getting someone to do designs for us. We couldn't afford it. We couldn't stretch to it. So basically, we messed around with Microsoft Word.
Okay.
We just started playing around with Microsoft Word, and we ended up with this kind of logo design. This was meant to signify a log in the middle from the cut down trees of the rainforest.
Zero waste.
We made it into a zero now for zero waste. Yeah. But it's very simplistic. There's no. We were just searching around for ideas, and we do need now. That's something we do need. We need someone to look at the range, maybe rebrand, and you know, come up with something a little bit more up to date and on trend. Yeah.
But I definitely do think that, I mean, the branding, I suppose, is something that is always a moving feast. You know, it's a development that, you know, it develops with the business, you know. So often you get a brand, and like that over the years, I've, you know, taken brands and you develop it. You might keep one aspect of it, but you kind of modernize it. Even every very established huge brands like blue chip companies that I've worked with, you know, they're tweaking their logos all the time to keep on trend and keep you know, keep real to what's happening around us. So, you know, I think your packaging and the simplicity of the brown paper, and then you've got a 3-pack box, don't you?
This kind of here.
Exactly. So that's, you know, that's beautiful, because it's also carrying that natural feel along. And
now we've redone this now, so we've redone it so it's got the slots in the top.
Oh, excellent!
So you can actually see the soap and smell the soap through the box now as well.
Okay.
So this has been going great now for the Christmas. It's really fun.
And that's one that I actually ordered online. See, initially when I found you guys, I found you in store, right? So I found these, and then I just thought they were gorgeous, so I bought them for my daughter as just a little gift, because I thought it was
thanks, right, very good, yeah.
Stunning. And then my mum's birthday was in June, and we were in the middle of lockdown, so I was wondering what will I do, and I picked some products, Irish products that were sustainable and that I thought were stunning, and these were your 3-pack I had ordered online, and I sent them to her, so she got a number of different packages from different Irish people like that. So that's where, and then I just thought I'd love to interview you, and I'd love to kind of hear the story behind it, and the more I looked into it, the more I didn't realize you had other products, and the story started to unfold, and now, you know, it's wonderful to have met you and to have heard about, you know, your family business and the nucleus of the idea, the introduction into, you know, the people that you're working with in India with these new products, and it's a really lovely story, and it's one that should be told, and you are a pioneer in this field, you know, in these.
Yeah. You know, everybody does a little bit, and the thing was as well, like, very passionate about like the over excess packaging. You know, everything's packaged and double packaged and packaged. I mean, we're still getting stuff in from some suppliers now, even though we tell them, look, there's far too much packaging there. You know, it doesn't need packaging and over packaged. So the idea was to sell the bars naked and then just a little brown paper bag, which some people don't even want the brown paper bag with it. You know, they'll just take the soap as is. You know, customers say, no, don't worry about the bag.
And you have your branding, you know, in the soap as such, because it's stamped into it, which is
It's
a lovely
stamped into
idea, you know.
Which is, it sounds a great idea at the outset when you're doing a few bars.
Yeah.
But as that multiplies, I mean, it's literally it's hand stamped, which is, again, a physical activity.
Yeah, because care and attention that's put into it. So I think the consumer is really getting that as well. You know,
It's a real personal touch, yeah.
There's an unseen kind of feeling that you get from that, because you know you can kind of it's an added bonus to it, that you know that it's being created by somebody else, and there's been time and attention put into each individual unique soap bar, you know, so it's an added value to it, and it also keeps your costs low, doesn't it? You know, I think you're very
manual labor, yeah,
but you're competitive in when it comes to your pricing for the soap.
Oh, we think we're probably we hopefully are probably the most competitive. I mean, for what goes into it, there's a lot of work goes into it. You could just, I mean, in fact, we could just pour it into a mold and be done with it. But the marbling technique and the effects and that sort of like doubles the time to make a batch of soap. But it's just because Kathy's very passionate about making the soap and wants every bar to be like a work of art.
It is, and that's what attracted me to it, you know, and that's why I'm here talking to you, because they are like a work of art. And even I was taking photographs during the week, and I was like, oh, how can I take the photograph to really make it look as good as it is, you know, because there is an art, they're like art pieces, you know. And also when you're talking about, you know, I think the relationship of the conversation between the product creator and the designer coming together and looking, both of them becoming conscious of how can we create design and packaging that fits the need, is fit for purpose, but also is simple and tells the story, and it's simple, it's clever, and it's dynamic as it can be, because I think graphic designers, and that's why I'm kind of opening up this conversation as well, is like how as graphic designers can we, when we're designing products and designing packaging and designing branding, how we are storytellers, really. We're narrating the story of the brand, and how can we try to look at that in the most simple, natural way as possible, you know, and minimize, and really when we're talking to our clients and our larger clients as well, you know, and trying to push the conversation more in that direction, you know, that so, you know, I hope that other graphic design companies start to think of themselves in that way, as kind of a service to sustainability, you know, as a consultancy as such, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think there's a nice awareness that maybe we can build together, and you know, it's like a partnership as such, you know, in these conversations that I'm having with companies. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Carolyn.
The time that we've had together, and hopefully I'd like to get Kathy in a conversation sometime. I know she's a bit camera shy, but
you'll be doing well. I mean, private conversation, no problem at all. But you're doing well to get Kathy in front of the camera. Yeah.
Oh, well, I have a SoundCloud, so she's a lovely voice, so maybe she'll come on.
No, she'll talk. She'll talk. Okay, yeah, she's very knowledgeable about the technical side of the product as well.
Okay, so maybe I'll do another interview with her and just have it on SoundCloud and
exactly,
kind of interview with her.
And why not?
Yeah, and she can tell us about the technical side of the ingredients and actually producing. She's the master soap maker. Yeah,
she is the master soap maker. Yeah. We'll all learn from her. Very good.
Brilliant. Oh, that's fantastic, Tony, and thanks so much for taking time out. And
absolute pleasure.
The very best, and that you'll get lots of business, you know, and create over Christmas, and you know, you'll add to this mindful shopping that we're trying to create.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll do a little bit. Yeah, thank you ever so much, Caroline. Cheers, really appreciate it. Thank you. You take care. All right, stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.